Good morning.
Hare Krishna, Dandavad Pranam Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavad, Haribol.
Haribol.
Krishna Janmashtami ki jai.
Echo, lamp daylight.
Acharya Maharaj.
Dandavad Pranam Maharaj.
So you have reached India, okay.
Yes, Maharaj, I reached already.
Okay. Where are you now?
I'm in near Mysore, my
Mysore.
farmhouse. Yes.
Everything okay? Everyone is okay? Family?
By your grace,
Yes.
by your grace, everybody okay, Maharaj.
Oh. You are feeling happy? Back.
I'm very, very happy, Maharaj.
I'm sure everyone is happy.
My brother, he take initiation from Acharya Maharaj, Yadunandan Acharya Maharaj. Yadunandan Acharya Prabhu.
Person next to her is her brother, who received initiation from Acharya Maharaj.
Oh.
Very nice.
Dandavad Maharaj.
Evo, Dandavad. Try Maharaj. Nice. So, you're making your whole family Krishna conscious. Very good.
Trying, Maharaj, it's not easy.
It's not easy. Nothing is easy. That's what makes it worth it, right?
Om Agyana Tivirandasya Yananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Acharya Dev Ki Jai.
Jai.
Hi.
Jai Sri Krishna Janmashtami Mahotsav Ki Jai.
Jai.
Nandotsav Ki Jai.
Jai.
Tomorrow, Nandotsav is Srila Prabhupada's appearance. We are there are two things, huh? Actually, there are three things. There's the consciousness, and there's the existence. Sat, Chit in Sanskrit. Sat and Chit. Sat means existence, and Chit means consciousness. Existence by itself doesn't mean much. And not very interesting. Mere being. But consciousness of existence, then it becomes something interesting. Huh? When we add consciousness, then existence becomes interesting, meaningful, has some purpose. And even higher than consciousness is Ananda, Sat Chit Ananda. Even higher than consciousness is pleasure, joy, Amrit, that's called nectar, or Ananda, bliss. What makes consciousness interesting is the joy that we get in life. Not merely being conscious of existence, that is okay, that's higher than existence, but higher than consciousness is the joy we experience in life. That is the food of and the inspiration for consciousness to be awakened. So Sat, Chit, Ananda, three things. Existence, consciousness of existence, and the joy of consciousness. And these things, they find their fulfillment in Krishna consciousness. If we are only conscious of this material world, of the existence, modern science studies existence, matter, the existence of matter. They do not know much about consciousness of existence. But without consciousness, we cannot even have science. Science doesn't come from just matter itself. We have to have a knowing capacity. Knowing capacity is called chitta, chit, awareness. And the soul is said to be of the nature of chit, of consciousness, and not the nature of matter. The body and not the soul. The body is the matter, is the existence of something. But the soul is the consciousness of that body. People identify themselves as the body, but that is not their identity. Without the consciousness, you couldn't say body, my body. When you say my body, then the body is connected with something that is the self. Self, when you say my, means the self is there and the body is there. So we have to understand that material life being bodily life, only understanding things from the bodily platform, but is incomplete understanding. That is the most superficial plane of existence. Deeper than existence is the conscious plane. That is where the soul resides. That is where God also can be found, not in the material platform. So we must make that distinction first. Body, consciousness. Animals, they are also conscious, but they don't realize they are conscious. They only realize they are bodies, and they fight among each other just as bodies. They eat one another because they see only bodies. But that consciousness is not developed in the animal. Only in the human being we're capable of understanding this difference between body and consciousness of the body and the consciousness. So the human has the capacity to understand consciousness, which the animal doesn't have. However, in this world, there's a great tragedy because even human beings think themselves to be body. They don't understand that beyond the body there is the consciousness, there is the soul and body, both. We have to take into account both the soul and the body, and we have to understand that when we speak about ourselves, we mean the consciousness, not the body. I am the soul. The I belongs to the soul, not to the body. That's a very important thing. And then we can practice spiritual life. Spiritual life means that. Spiritual life means that I am the soul. Identify with the soul and things of the conscious world the Chit Shakti. Yeah? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
This is Usha.
Namaste.
Namaste.
So we have some devotees on the Zoom, so
Mhm.
we're speaking to them.
That's right.
Discussing the difference between the soul and the body.
Mm-hmm.
Spiritual life means to identify with the soul, the consciousness. Consciousness and what we are conscious of, the body, is different from the consciousness. And to identify with the consciousness is to identify with the spiritual level. So when we speak of spiritual life, we're talking about something different than this bodily life. Material life, bodily conception, that's material existence. When we speak about spiritual existence, then we are talking about the conscious world. And a devotee recognizes himself as consciousness and tries to cultivate that consciousness. And the consciousness of Krishna is the highest platform of consciousness we can develop. Krishna, the Supreme Person. Who can develop that consciousness to that level, then that is the highest perfection. And from there we can find what is Ananda, what is eternal joy. In this world we experience some temporary pleasures, temporary pains. They're temporary. Even they may last for many years, still it's only temporary. But from the conscious plane it's eternal. According to Veda, the soul is eternal. It neither dies, nothing, and neither can it be influenced or hurt by anything of the material plane, because there's a complete difference between consciousness and the bodily plane. According to Gita, Bhagavad Gita, the Dehinosmin Yata Dehe, the body is changing. The body is constantly changing from childhood to youth to old age. This constant change means that the body doesn't last a long time. Everyone has experience of that you had a baby body, you had a young body, you have older body, and in the old age, you have an older body. Body is always changing like that. But the soul, the self, he doesn't change. You remain the same person. I am the same person who was there in that baby body, in the young man's body, the young woman's body, and there in the older body are the same person. But the body has completely changed. If you have photographic album, you can see so many bodies you have occupied. So many bodies you have called yourself, that is me. Although different, all different. So who is that me? Who is that self? That is the Atma. That is the soul. The first lesson of spiritual life is to understand we are the consciousness, not the body. Understanding only bodily life means animal existence. Animals are also conscious, but they don't have the power. That conscious power is not there in them to recognize that they are the consciousness and not the body. They identify completely with the body, and therefore they don't have any consciousness of the self, of Atma, or of Paramatma, the higher self. So these things are there, and if we have a proper teacher, spiritual teacher, master, the guru, then he teaches these things to us. He teaches this, that we are of spiritual nature and we have a spiritual goal in life to understand who is that highest of spirit, which is Krishna. Okay? This is the whole purpose of Vedic civilization. It is based on this understanding. Brahman, atato Brahma jigyasa. The reality is Brahman. Brahman means conscious world. Spirit. The whole reality is spirit. Everything is spiritual. But we're seeing in a different way. Our consciousness is directed toward the existential plane, but it should be directed toward the conscious plane. Consciousness should be directed to consciousness. This is what we mean when we say I. When we say I, consciousness is becoming aware of itself. And then you say I. Subject becomes object of its own self. And then we can say I. Yeah. The lower creatures don't have the intelligence to make that identification. Therefore, no animal will say I. They can't say I. They can understand something. You can call their name, and they understand you're calling them. But they have not that ability to meditate within themselves to understand these things. So that lies only within the human form of life. So this human form of life is very important to understand these things. And if we do not utilize this precious human form of life for that purpose, then we are wasting our life, actually. We are wasting our life. We're simply living animal life. Polished, Prabhupada used to call it polished animal life. Sophisticated animal life. Animals are eating and sleeping and mating and defending. And we are also doing that, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Only we do it in a more sophisticated way. We build a big house and we live there and eat there and sleep there. Animals are doing it outside and eating and sleeping in the forest. Then what is the difference? The same activity, the same mentality, unless we understand that we have a higher capacity to understand the difference between the soul and the body. There's in every subject, your ABC, the fundamentals. And this is the fundamental, the A of spiritual life, that we are not the body, we are the consciousness. So there's one very nice verse in the Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. So,
Should I share the screen?
today is Krishna's birthday, and tomorrow is Srila Prabhupada's appearance day. And he has written his Bhagavad Gita as it is, translated and given a purport. And here, Srila Prabhupada, very merciful, he has told us what Krishna says about how we can achieve this spiritual understanding of life, the spiritual world, the spiritual God. The spiritual world can't be reached by rocket ship. You can't go there by any device, mechanical device. Not like that. In the spiritual world, we know everything is very beautiful. Goloka Vrindavan. But to reach that world, there is no way that one can go there by any device. Just like in Christianity, they have heaven, but that can't be reached by any material rocket ship. Krishna's abode, the spiritual plane, is the plane of consciousness. And that can only be reached by changing our consciousness. Our consciousness is now absorbed in material world and bodily world. But to change that consciousness and to become conscious of that higher world, that spiritual world, become the conscious world, that's required to get, to achieve, to enter into that higher world. It's only by a change of heart, by a change of consciousness, that we can get there. So Srila Prabhupada explains what is that process by which we can attain that spiritual world. And Krishna is giving this advice. Mam chayeno, mam chayo, what is that?
Mam chayo vyabhicharena
Yavicharena,
bhakti yogena
bhakti yogena,
sevate. Here, let me make it bigger.
bhakti yogena sevaya. Mam chayo vyabhicharena, bhakti yogena sevate. Sagudan samatityaityan, brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Mam chayo vyabhicharena. Vyabhicharena means uninterrupted, ceaseless. So he's saying, Mam, me, I can be attained by uninterrupted bhakti yogena sevate. Bhakti yoga means seva, bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga, bhakti means love, worship. Yoga means unite. Like in the farmers, they yoke the bull to pull the plow, and then the plow can do the work. So yoga means also to yoke or link, and bhakti means love. We can unite with that higher world through bhakti, devotion or love, sevate, and that means service. So through loving service, how do you express your love? Bhakti yoga means to unite with love, but what is that love? So yoga, love means sevate. Whom you love, you serve. You want to please. Service means you want to please that whom you are serving. So Krishna is saying here, you must come to me in this way, by unceasing, by serving me with love, without stop, without deviation. As much as you deviate from serving Krishna, then what do? Deviation from serving Krishna means you are serving this world. You have your family, you have so many things, to your job or whatever. You are doing so much service in this world. But Krishna says, no, not that kind. Your service must be to me. All your energy, all your love, all your heart. If you are serving to me, then this is the criterion. He says, for getting to the spiritual world. Unceasing service to me. So this bhakti yoga is a yoga practice, a disciplinary practice in a sense. Bhakti yoga sevaya. Sevaya. For one who wants to go to the spiritual world, he must take up this offer by Krishna. Yoga, bhakti yoga sevaya. Ceaseless meditation. This is focus. Meditation must be ceaseless service. That's like the yoga practitioners. They have to engage in a lot of discipline to sit very quietly. For many years they practice that, sitting and meditating and controlling the breath. So too the bhakti yoga. You must take up this seriously and without deviation. focus the mind, focus the consciousness in service. Not only the consciousness, but everything. The body, the senses, the mind, all these faculties of the human life, they must be focused on serving Krishna. And that is the process. That is the process what? Have to get out of the material world. Simply by focusing everything on Krishna. Then we can travel there, through the conscious process. And then he says, Sagunan Samatityaityan. Sagunan Samatityaityan. Gunan means the gunas. In the Sankhya yoga of Veda, the scientific knowledge of the Vedas, the worldly existence, that is under the influence of Sattva-Rajatama, that our life, when they are controlled by passion, ignorance, and goodness, then we see the material world. To get free of that sagunan, to get free of that guna, those gunas, we must practice this bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga will free us from this, the influences of passion, ignorance, and goodness that keep us bound into the material consciousness. Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. To become free from the modes, sattva, raja, tamas, to become free from the material consciousness. And what is the result? Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. The result is that we come to the plane of Brahma. Brahma means spiritual or conscious world. We are able to come to the plane of the conscious plane. And this way. And the consciousness then is directed by serving attitude and permanently becomes fixed in Krishna consciousness. This is how we come to the Krishna conscious level. Krishna has given this most secret of all secrets, the process for coming to the spiritual world. In one verse, 4 lines, he has given the whole process. One could study this book and understand what Krishna is saying. And the most valuable knowledge in the whole world is given there. And with the help of a proper teacher who has practiced that, also understands something of that process, that we can also learn. And we put that into practice in our life. And in that way, get free of birth and death. Come to the immortal plane. It is there, it existing within us. We just have to raise ourselves up to that platform. Through practice of bhakti yoga. One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and comes to the level of Brahman, comes to the level of spirit.
Should we show the purport?
So here, Arjuna is, at this point in the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is asking Krishna, how do I get to the transcendental platform? And this is the answer. Something burned?
I had some dal, I had to shut the stove off.
What is the means of getting to this transcendental plane? And this is the answer. Instead of putting consciousness into the activities of the material world, he puts his consciousness to Krishna's activities. And that process is called Bhakti Yoga. Those activities of Krishna are realized through Bhakti Yoga by engaging ourselves always in the service of Krishna. Anyhow, basically, that is the idea. No, Usha,
Yes.
do you know, you are familiar with all these things?
Yes.
Yes.
Not in the
You are a resident here in Village 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
Independence Parkway.
Where?
Independence Park.
Independence Parkway.
We are trying to leave the material life because nothing coming with us.
Krishna Keshava? I can't hear so well.
Oh, you can't hear.
How
Sorry.
did he say?
What was that?
I say material life not giving importance no more because we know nothing coming with us.
The material life is becoming less important because we know that nothing comes with us after.
You can't take it with you.
Exactly.
We are born naked
Mm-hmm.
and empty-handed. And we also have to die naked and empty-handed when we go back to the spiritual world. The whole time between the birth and the death, we're accumulating so many things. But ultimately, we are naked and empty-handed.
There is a rebirth, Krishna.
Then, what are we supposed to do? We're wasting our life
Right.
collecting so many things.
Mm-hmm.
It's all a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
Rather, we should have been cultivating spiritual life, our spiritual wealth. What is that spiritual knowledge? What is that spiritual self?
Mm-hmm.
What are those spiritual activities? They are the eternal, the Amrit. Amrit means without death. The nectar. Those are the nectar things. Those are the real things of pleasure. The spiritual wealth, not these material things.
We come back.
Wastage of time.
There is a rebirth.
Rebirth, yes.
Yes.
Yes, if we remain, what has it done? You burned something.
Yes. He's taking care.
Terrible.
It's okay. He's taking
You're
care.
very forgetful.
It's all right. Me too. Sometimes.
I opened some window.
So what we do for the rebirth, so we don't suffer again.
Uh-huh.
How should we approach being reborn so that we don't suffer again?
Yes, this is the solution. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Don't turn your consciousness to the material things,
Okay.
to cultivating material possessions.
Mm-hmm.
Rather, turn your attention, your consciousness toward the spiritual things, reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, talking about Krishna, praying to Krishna, chanting Krishna's names. There are so many things, offering, cooking nicely for Krishna without burning, and
We
cooking
all do
food
best.
and offering to Krishna.
Nobody's perfect.
There, then
We may do many
all these things,
innocently.
just center your life on Krishna consciousness, Krishna's activities. And if you die remembering Krishna, then you'll go to Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, yang vapi swaram bhavam, that you will come to me if you are thinking of me at the time of death. Whatever you are thinking of at the time of death, there you will go. So if you're still thinking about your material world, material friends and relatives and things, at the time of death, then again you'll come to this material world. But if you are thinking of Krishna, and whole heart and mind, everything is, your purpose of life is all directed to Krishna. If you die with that mentality, if you die simply saying Hare Krishna, that the last thing in your breath is Hare Krishna, then you'll go to Krishna. Krishna won't forget you. And you'll get out of this samsara.
Right. Nobody wants no more.
You'll get out. This world, we come back again and again because of material attachment. Attachment to the material things. So we have to learn how to develop attachment, love for Krishna. Krishna prema. Krishna prema pradayate. Our desires, our longing should be for Krishna. That is what devotee life means. One can be a devotee, a bhakta, only by developing love for Krishna. And then his whole life, or her whole life, is directed toward that plane. And at the time of death, if that consciousness has been fully developed in us, then we will go back to that world by Krishna's grace. So the whole science of Bhakti Yoga,
Yes.
we have to study carefully. It gives all the steps, all the activities, whatever we must do, given there in the process, the science of Bhakti Yoga, how to cultivate a consciousness of Krishna. It's very simple.
Yes, I guess.
And it's very difficult also. Difficult because we are attached. We have so much attachment, so much conditioning to materialistic life. It makes it difficult for us to practice spiritual. To put our attention onto the spiritual things. And we have to be very careful also.
Like,
If we become attached, influenced by association, who we associate with. Some association will lead us astray, lead us into material life very easily. We associate with people who are materially attached, then we will become influenced by that association. In the same way, if we are associate with the sadhus, the persons who are spiritually attached, we will become influenced in that way. So in Vedic culture, it's necessary to approach Guru, to connect ourselves with the saintly person, sadhu, and make progress in that way.
thank you, Guruji. That's it.
Many people may present themselves as Guru, but we have to be very careful because we see they may be very aggrandizing. They're glorifying themselves to think, I am the Guru. If you want to come to Krishna, you come through me. And they try to monopolize people under their control. Everyone has to come under their control in order to get to Krishna. No, that is not Guru. That is not Guru who criticizes others and only glorifies himself. That is not Guru. That is the opposite of Guru. Genuine Guru teaches us how the disciple can become Krishna conscious. If I establish their relationship with Krishna, not with any particular person, but with Krishna consciousness. There is a whole community in this world, thanks to the grace of Srila Prabhupada and Srila Sridhar Maharaj. There's a whole world now has opened up of Vaishnava community, of devotee communities all over the world. And there are many good devotees there, many wonderful devotees. If we become aware of them, we can make connection with them. We will find there's great benefit in our own spiritual life, and we will be able to make progress also. So Krishna appears in everyone's heart. Paramatma. The Paramatma. Besides the Atma, there is also Paramatma. And he is always giving direction to us. Either he comes outside as a guru or devotee, that is also Paramatma in an external form. But internally he is always there also, always giving direction to us. In the scriptures, the holy books, we also find that direction. And we have to learn how to turn our attention to Krishna and obey his will, his desire. And in that way, we can always be situated in the transcendental platform and making progress on the path back to home, back to God. They're very beautiful. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thanks. Little bit learn more.
So, what? Any question, any comment?
No, trying to be spiritual more and more every day.
Usha said she's trying to be more spiritual every day.
Yeah.
So I think she has to leave.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. Hare Krishna.
One of our local residents has come today. Very nice.
You have some family members where you're living?
I'm so happy you had somebody local come in. That was wonderful. I know Krishna Keshav has been doing work in the community. That's wonderful that you had a guest. We have a guest. Our cat.
You have to feed him prasad.
That I love that you just said that. That's awesome.
In Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life, there was one dog. Every time the devotees would meet, that dog would also come to that meeting. And they used to feed that dog prasadam. One day they were going to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu someplace, and that dog was following them, and they were feeding him. Anyhow, one night, that dog disappeared, and they were all looking, where did that dog go to? And so they thought that dog must have gone by himself to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when going there, that he went back to home, back to God, because they could not find the dog anywhere again. So just by feeding prasad to the animals, even they can become Krishna conscious. Otherwise, it's difficult for them to understand Bhagavad Gita. Even some people is difficult. Okay, so, but if we give them prasad, anybody can make progress in spiritual.
So Maharaj, I know that um, we've been involved with Krishna consciousness through Krishna Keshava Das for all these years. And I was just telling Ingo that even though I've heard you speak a lot of these words before, I'm definitely hearing it differently now.
Yes, somehow, Anupalakshavartmane in Sanskrit means the Lord of the inconceivable way. We are doing so many things, and somehow if we come in connection with the devotees, beyond our ability to understand, our hearts will be changed, and our consciousness will be elevated to the platform of Krishna consciousness, slowly, day by day, just by association. We don't have to do anything big, just by respectful and loving association, then our hearts will be changed. And we will see, one day we will wake up and find, oh, we are in Krishna's world, dancing with Mahaprabhu and dancing with the devotees. So you
Nice.
continue to do what you are doing as much as possible, and gradually that knowledge will come. That Tadami Buddhi Yogam Tam, Krishna says, I will give you the knowledge by which you can come to me. Tesham satatagyanam bhajatam pratipurvakam tadami buddhi yogam tam. Tesham satatagyanam. Always engaged in hearing about me, talking about me, acting, doing everything in relationship to me with pratipurvakam, with some affection. Then dadami buddhi. Then I will give you what is necessary for you to make progress. Sincerity. All we need is the sincerity of heart and go on in some type of service in relationship to the devotees in Krishna. And he will do the rest. We do our part and he will do his part also. It will happen. This is not some superstition. Religion is not just some concoction of the mind, not imagination. There is God, there is the spiritual world, and we are part of that. And by focusing our attention, our hearts in that direction, we will see gradually, day by day, it will become known to us. And we will find ourselves there, on that platform. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hmm.
What else can I say?
As much as you want. You can say anything you want.
I wish I could go on telling, but anyhow, what time is it now?
11:04.
I think we've been talking 1 hour now. So I will end.
I'm grateful for this program. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
My gratitude to you also for coming today. Give me a chance to do some service, to remember
Yes.
Krishna, to talk about Krishna. I'm very grateful for that. Thank you very much. My blessings, whatever I can give to you, and also my love to you all.
Hmm.
Dhanyavad.
Our love back to
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Dandavad pranam didi. Dandavad pranam Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Vishnupad Paramahamsa Shripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Vrinda ki jai.
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 Janmashtami ki jai.
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 Jai Gurudev ki jai.
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 Haribol.
Hari
Dhanyavad.
bol.
Mhm.